I'm Andrew Armstrong, welcome to the back of this. I have here a Fujifilm FinePix 6900 zoom, which is, yeah, it looks like a kind of a, I don't think you'd call it a bridge camera because it doesn't have that kind of DSLR look that I'm used to on the sort of Fujifilm. It's just got a quite a unique kind of shape, really. I think it kind of looks like more like a video recorder than a camera, but just to show you the sort of profile, it's like a tube, like just the lens and the sort of battery areas are sort of bolted on for effect afterwards. So we'll just have a go looking at the various features of this because it is such an anomaly to me, and I haven't looked it up on the internet or anything. I can see on the side here it has the sort of standard pop-up flash that's so common to many cameras, especially the Fujifilms at the time. There is a manual focus ring, which is nice. The lens is claiming to be a 6x optical zoom with an f7.8 to 46.8 millimeters and 2.8 to 3.1. So figure it out if you can. You don't really know how what this lens actually is. How wide is it? So there we go. That's something we're going to have to look up on the internet if we really want to know. Manual focus, autofocus, telephoto wide. So it has got power zoom, which is cute. Exposure control. Various settings button. Info. On the back you have a shifter, display, electronic viewfinder, which is cute. Got a plasticky, rubbery thing there on the electronic viewfinder. Usual menu options. Ah, very cute. Look, you've got actually a adjustment ring underneath the main settings ring, so that could be nice for doing the exposure and those things. You've got a bracketing mode, timer, flash and macro, and interesting, it doesn't feel like a two-stage trigger there, but there you go. Power, no power of course. Open the flap on the side. You've got your standard USB proprietary connector, video out, and the power connector. And luckily we do actually have a power supply for this camera. It was in the box. Let's turn it on. Ooh, there we go. The lens has released itself. So I don't know if this moves in and out when you all the zooming and everything's done inside the camera, so that just stays out. That doesn't move backwards and forwards once it's actually set. There you've got some old school software here. This must be quite old because it doesn't have the sort of more common of the older interfaces. Just knocked itself off. Let's turn it back on again. Date and time not set. So we're going to put it into this macro mode. Noisy old beast, really. But for all intents and purposes, it looks like it works. I've just switched it back into playback mode, but it's not moving. But then there is an icon there saying it's writing to the SD card. So you got to sort of bear in mind these cameras are quite slow. You know, it's a couple of pictures I've taken on there already. And you got to give it time. You're not used to that now. So yeah, it works. It's quite comfortable. I'm not really going to comment on the video or still image quality. You know the video quality is going to be terrible. It's I do know it's a 6 megapixel camera. That's basically the only thing I know about it because I've sort of played with it briefly earlier. So other interesting features of this. So this is the really weird thing, and I've never seen this before. But look at the card for the memory. This is Fuji 16 megabytes, a whole 16 megabytes of memory, and look how huge that is. Yeah, just to sort of give you some context, a normal SD card is sort of that big, so this is like 4 times the size, but it's really thin. If you remember back in the day, they were sort of all fighting these sort of various wars on standards, and I think clearly Fuji must have lost because I've never seen one of these in the wild. So I'm going to sort of think about how to use these. I've got an idea really, where I know that the quality of the lenses are really great and the zooms, all those things. If you think of, compared to a sort of crappy webcam, these are going to be brilliant. So it might be quite nice to sort of set them up more permanently using their video out so that they can sort of just act as auto-focusing webcams. So if you have the video capture card, on the composite, just bringing in the camera image, you'll be able to get actually a quite good picture, even though it'll only be standard def. It should be a really good standard def picture. So please feel free to click like or leave comments down below, or even subscribe, if you take the fancy. Did you have one of these? Do you still have one of these? And what do we do with these ancient cameras that are starting to become a bit long in the tooth? I mean, 6 megapixel it's okay. You can still take a good picture at 6 if you frame it up, but compared to what you're getting on your smartphone, are these starting to look a bit old? As ever, thanks for watching.